Hello,
Hi.
this is Renee and Kent Miller, and we are back again to discuss lessons from the book, The Augmentation of Man,
Your time to close the learning process.
a study in Renaissance. And this is a channeled book from the ancients who were divine teachers and professors of higher realms of understanding.
Okay. I had listened to the winds many times in the past, and the winds talk. All areas where winds talk for your understanding and learning. Now, what does this mean? It must understand who talks and why. It is metaphorically, the winds represent a movement of energy in the atmosphere, just as the telepathic communication results from a movement of energy along the plasmatic cord of charged ions, strings within the atmosphere. It is important to understand who talks and why. Is it a higher source entity bringing us to a higher understanding? Or is it a deceptive entity misleading us? It's to sharpen our skills in learning and how to communicate in order to raise our level of understanding and vibration, if you can. The elevator is used in this metaphor to signify the moving up to a higher level. Again, is this a deceptive, misleading understanding, or is this one that we can rely on and learn from? This is communication that you have to decipher yourself.
Remember, all levels of higher understanding deliver a higher vibration, so they directly correlate to each other. So in another metaphor in the book, it talks about the cornerstones of our understanding, and it's referring to our foundational belief systems, and that they have become the sharp edges of conflict, what divides us as humanity. And what this means is that we all have perceptions of what the truth is. They may be varying degrees of truth, but rarely do we see complete truth in our realm. And so everybody thinks they have the truth. Nobody has the complete truth, but it provides the angst between us to create conflict. And so our pursuit of the truth must be found by going within for our answers instead of listening to others outside of ourselves, because humans tend to share their understanding of what their truth is, and you find it in religions and other belief systems, but that spread of falsehoods is what is creating the problem. So they're telling us we need to go within now and turn away from the teachings of the past to open new and profound understandings that reflects a universal understanding.
Spiritual guidance is available to all who genuinely desire to find truth, providing epiphanies that come from within. The native people know the many spirits that are available in different spheres of understanding. You have to learn those that are available and the ones that want to tell you the truth, and not the ones that want to desire misunderstanding.
Remember, we're entering into a period of conceptual learning. So when we have these epiphanies, we have to do our homework and do these new understandings correlate with science? Do they make sense? Do they connect to other dots and other facts? So we have to factor that into our truth seeking as well.
Are we in a new transition now? Yeah.
So we are coming upon the close of the last learning cycle, which is about perception as perceptual beings. And we're going to be entering into a new cycle of conceptual learning, which is being able to take the facts and from our truth seeking, the data that we're collecting, and be able to connect the dots to a much grander understanding and a bigger picture. But right now we're in transition. We're in a transformative phase called the transformation. And we are changing, our world is changing.
Chaos is increasing.
And the chaos, we can see how that is increasing. But that chaos is the result of the misperceptions that exist and those who are very polarized in their thinking.
Yeah,
and they hold on to these perceptions instead of trying to remain neutral and find a greater expanse of understanding.
This is closing our learning process. Soon a signatory will arrive, sealing the close of the perceptual learning cycle. A period of quantum analysis will open for a review of the past learning cycle. What we learned from cause and event in our past, and did we learn? What did we learn from our misperceptions? What did we learn from our previous decision making? Are we able yet to be neutral enough to see real truth? Neutral means you have to step back away from the stage, away from the drama that's going on today. Are we lost in our polarized perceptive reality where we think everything we have is right?
That we have the absolute truth.
Only those searching for the real truth
will be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
If we're polarized to one side or the other, if we think we absolutely have the truth, we can guarantee you probably don't. So we need to move into a more neutral state, step back, and view everything that's going on, all events, as a classroom, as something that we can just observe. We're the observers, and we're learning from it, and we can discuss it without being polarized and emotionally engaged in it, so that we can open our field of view and with that obtain a greater level of understanding.
Can we step back from the drama that's going on in this world?
Can be hard.
That takes a lot of, I guess you could say, moxie. It takes courage. It takes just doing.
To not be polarized and not to be emotionally charged, and to be able to talk to others, respecting others' views, and to be able to contemplate those views.
Even though you don't agree with them, you just nod your head like you recognize their view and you step away. You don't criticize. That's being part of being neutral.
So to fully appreciate these lessons from the events that have happened in our past can become our cause now in our learning. Creating the cause and effect of the lessons.
Consequence for the past decisions.
Well, so cause means the teaching or the learning. That's the goal. And effect is the actual learning that has been attained. So it's very important. We live in a world of cause and effect, and a lot of times we don't let consequences play out. That does not allow people to learn the lessons of the decisions that they have made. We put our own value system on it, and we try to shield people. And in reality, it's not helping our society. So it's important that we allow cause and effect to take place and create the consequences of our past decisions in order for people to learn and grow and mature.
Now, seeking truth is an individual endeavor. Each individual has to seek their own truth. It does not rely on others to tell us what truth is. That's their truth. In the old cycle, the untruth was spread by listening to others' misperceptions. The new cycle, which has not begun yet, involves putting forth a new level of energy in our research for contemplations in order to find a deeper meaning unavailable to us under the existing paradigm.
But that takes a lot of work, and most people are not willing to put forth the energy in order to get to the desired goal of a higher or deeper or more expansive understanding. So entering into this new cycle of conceptual learning is going to require that we do a whole lot more homework, that we do our research, that we gather our data. And it takes a lot of work, but that is what is going to be required for this next learning phase, which is a step up. So now's the time to quiet the mind and to meditate on what is coming around the corner in this new cycle.
Yeah, so you have to reach an understanding from within. Okay, do not get your understanding outside of yourself from another, but it has to go within. So you have to take your time so not to reach a conclusion that has a little foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation, you have nothing. In an overzealous attempt to speed the process, you cannot speed the process. It comes on its own, in its own time. As your learning and understanding will come on its own time, depending on how much you understand at this particular point in time. So look at the underlying facts and try to behold the truth that's somewhere in that cause and effect mess.
So the understanding is going to also come, it's kind of twofold. It comes from the higher self, which is our direct connection to the Creator, and it also comes from the past learnings and memories of understanding that we have stored at the soul level, which is much more expansive than in our physical being. And so it's to be able to sit there quietly, meditate, and try and listen to that little inner voice that's talking, instead of, some of the meditations are just for relaxation, and they tell you all those little thoughts that you hear in your head to delete, delete, delete. We're telling you, yes, do that in the beginning, but then listen to those voices that are clearly not coming from your own physical thoughts of the monkey mind.
You have to ascertain what you hear, where it comes from.
And again, we suggest that you don't do this if you have any personal or family history of schizophrenia, because that's just going to add to the problem.
Yeah.
So we close with a quote. You want to say it?
Go ahead.
So that is a smooth surface of learning to make it comfortable and deceiving. No one goes under the surface to see the real meanings. So
they're all superficial. All the people are superficial. Very few, and there's very few, but there are a few that actually go into the self-learning and the self-understanding of who they are, what they are, and where they are.
So it's important that we move away from this, giving the appearance that we all know what the answers are and we understand, and to move into a much deeper level of understanding through much more vigorous research and contemplation.
Yeah.
So that ends our
we recommend,
lesson for today.
We recommend that you go back to the book, Meditation and Man, a Study in Renaissance,
and read chapter 5, the end of chapter 5, and that's page 123 to 124. See how you understand it now that you have seen this video. And you can also take it a step up to the blog, which will go into a little more detail, although this particular video has followed the blog pretty closely.
And subscribe to our YouTube or our Facebook or our, what's the other one? Twitter. And let us know what you think and learn. Because if you subscribe, you automatically get the blogs and things you don't have
as soon as they come out.
Yeah, you don't have to search for it.
So our video blog will send out with our emailing as soon as we have the videos up and going. And you can subscribe at verdience.com at the bottom of the website. And then, of course, if you like us on Facebook, you'll get them there. We'll post them there as well, although it'll be individually. And it also will be posted on Twitter. You can, the Twitter account is at Verdience. The Facebook is under the same title as the book, which would be The Augmentation of Man, A Study in Renaissance. Our YouTube channel is at Renee and Kent Miller. So I think that covers it.
Okay. Anyway, you have a great week, and we'll see you at the next video.
Thanks for joining us. Again, like us, friend us, subscribe, and we wish you peace on your journey to truth. Thank you.